welcome to SME Futures. Today's topic is cybersecurity for MSMEs. The fact that the technology landscape is constantly changing is not a new revelation, and organizations are rethinking tools, processes, and strategies to accommodate it. However, with the rise of digital operations, the threat landscape has evolved as well. Moreover, various studies shows that the majority of cyber criminals target small and medium-sized businesses. The problem only gets worse when traditional security solutions fails to stop advanced attacks. To address this critical issue, we have with us Sandeep Kumar Panda, who is a cybersecurity subject matter expert and the co-founder and CEO of InstaSafe Technologies, a cloud-based security technology provider based in Bangalore. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thank you, Anushruti. Thank you for the opportunity and hello to all the viewers and listeners of SME Futures.
So, Sandeep, cybersecurity remains a serious concern for MSMEs, especially as work from home mandates disrupt everything. In such scenario, one of the most fundamental questions that arises is why should business owners understand cybersecurity and how solutions can help them protect their businesses, as well as what help them understand the risks they are getting exposed to.
Well, that's a very pertinent question. In the last about close to 2 years, growing businesses or SMEs or MSMEs as we call them, they have completely been left unprepared. But having said that, they have taken tremendous strides to ensure that their business continues. Human nature is about resilience, and we have seen at all levels from business continuity to vaccine distribution to coping up with the pandemic, which none of us were ever prepared. We have done a great job. Having said that, cybersecurity or ability to maintain business continuity, if I may put it that way, has been one of the biggest challenges. Then what happened interestingly, sometime around July till probably December, we saw a spate of attacks globally. Ransomware, we have seen so many customers calling up and more particularly in the mid-growing segment, right? Where they have done whatever they could do best given their access to resources and capital. They did their best, but then ransomware came up. Suddenly I get phone calls and not just me, but I know a lot of providers got calls telling that, hey, our data is locked. We have got ransomware attacked. So that realization happened for the first time.
Right.
So fact of matter is now, growing business owners, execs or promoters or leaders are realizing that cyber risk is real, and not just about mitigating them, but also having enough preparedness to ensure that they are conscious about these things. They have budgets around it. They have audits around it. These are the only ways where I would say promoters can de-risk their business, right?
So, you rightly said cybersecurity is a grave area that businesses should focus on. So, there are multiple areas they should prioritize in order to manage risk and secure their workforce. Can you elaborate on that?
You see, now obviously, we have realized that the world around us has completely changed. There was a point in time where majority of your applications, you could say a simple tally or a business application was hosted in the data center or in a colo. Today there is ubiquity of SaaS applications. We could just go download and try a very affordable SaaS applications. India is full of SaaS applications, and not just India, globally also. The rise of SaaS applications has made us a fact that we don't need to struggle with legacy applications on a client server or worrying about which data center we should kind of host our applications. And then on the end user side, you are in a different city, I'm in a different city right now, and exactly business is happening like that. And obviously this will continue in a hybrid mode, which everybody realizes that. But connecting these two sides, what I just said, the application side and the end users like you and me, how do you securely connect them? How do you ensure that your business is de-risked and you're not overly exposing is one of the biggest challenges. And this is not a new problem. This has been solved many since evolution. Ever since the evolution of network, this has been solved. There have been lease lines, there have been MPLS connections, which are essentially a type of connection where you have a dedicated line, a connectivity line, internet line provided by the telecom provider. And then you have the VPNs, virtual private network technology, the VDI technology, and a lot more, right? Now, what we are seeing here is that all of these technologies are also in the middle of a transition, and they are getting disrupted by technologies which are an evolution of what was there in the past, right? So that transition is at times a lot more easier, lot more with full peace of mind than depending on legacy technologies. So, my suggestion is we have seen growing businesses owners, SMEs, MSMEs, and in fact, recently born enterprises. They can look forward to adopting modern technologies, newer technologies, and even get better benefits. And this is what is called leapfrogging of technology. Even if you are low in cyber preparedness, you could adopt modern technologies in this particularly remote work era where zero trust has become a home word right now, zero trust network access, where you need not worry about what is there in the legacy and leapfrog into a modern technology, which a few years back only the Googles of the world could afford it, only the sophisticated banks could afford it.
So, as you mentioned, zero trust, it's another cyber security term. So, can you, tell us what it is about and why should growing businesses prioritize it in 2022?
Oh, definitely. In the last 3 years, Gartner has shared that adopting a zero trust approach to your cyber preparedness is one of the most critical things that every emerging CIO is doing. But to our audiences here, I will give you a very simple example. Zero trust obviously is a cyber security jargon, but it is our duty to keep growing awareness and de-jargonize this concept. Now, we are all talking about access. Who is accessing what? And when I say who, we are largely talking about humans. And when I talk about humans, I will say identities, where a human with a device is identity number one, a human with another device is identity number two, right? So tagging a human with a device is what we are calling as identities. Now, again, to put a very anecdotal evidence or anecdotal example, imagine this whole wall of access to be typical to an Indian railway station. You can get a platform ticket, or you can pick up any ticket, the cheapest ticket that you can find, and just walk into the railway station. You are free to go to any platform. You are in fact free to go to any train. Once the train starts, a TT comes and checks your ticket. Only then you could be caught. That are you going to the right place or did you buy the right ticket or not? Otherwise, you could just deceive the system and go what you wish to do. Now compare this to an airport security. You cannot get inside the airport without showing your proof of identity, without showing a boarding pass, be it physical or virtual. You cannot just onboard any plane or any gate, right? There are multiple layers of security checks built in. This railway station to airport example is what is the difference between traditional technologies and most commonly called as VPNs to zero trust. Now, if you understand the benefits it gives you from an access perspective, from an audit perspective, from activity log perspective, then you know how powerful these things can be.
So, beside from zero trust, what are the other trends will dominate the cybersecurity sector in the coming year?
See, one of the most important trends that is dominating today and which is very less spoken is about basic cyber awareness, cyber hygiene. One is about enterprises or SMEs or MSMEs kind of adopting technologies. But the bigger agenda here is about how do we generate awareness at all levels. Life is not only about securing our employees, it is most importantly the customers of the business. And as we see in today, obviously India is one of the most sophisticated payment gateway systems or payment, right? So our UPI and multiple other options today has given us the choice to make payments anytime, anywhere with any mechanism just using a smartphone, right? But that is now giving rise to a lot of challenges where people are getting deceived, people are getting fooled, and falling to social engineering. And social engineering is only there is the only way to avoid social engineering is to kind of grow end user awareness. We should know that we should not click on any link that is suspicious in nature, or it doesn't come from trusted sources. We should not believe in overnight rich or lottery schemes. We should not believe in something that sounds too good to be true. These are basic human behavioral traits or behavioral points that we should be aware of, right? Now this is what hackers are exploiting today, and it is not just a B2B problem. It's a real problem that we see. People are falling victims to small money or big money, right? And this is something that I would say is very much needed today in India. And as much awareness we do, we still need to do more, because until we are cyber aware, it does not matter what technologies that we use, right?
So, what distinguishes cyber aware growing businesses? As you mentioned, it's very important to be to know what is cybersecurity is and to be aware about the vulnerabilities.
One of the most simplest way for leaders of growing businesses is to look at that when we say cyber aware, what does it mean? Are we practicing that? Simple things like, are we switching on or encouraging our users and employees and partners to switch on multi-factor authentication? Our phones have it. Are we locking our phones? These simple things starts with creating awareness around it, creating policies around it, and also creating audit systems around it, right? Because once we create a culture of encouraging that, hey, it's important that you lock your smartphone, and everybody has a payment app on our phones, so naturally you will be having a lock. But are we really putting it to effective use? Can we have more awareness around simple not to click on suspicious links or unknown links? This is all about generating awareness around phishing attacks. Then question comes that if we are outside, then what kind of applications we're accessing, what devices we're accessing from, and if the same device is going back to office, what kind of technological sanitization or sanity checks needs to be done. These are some important things that businesses need to be conscious about as they practice the cyber aware culture.
So, as you mentioned, cyber aware culture is what small businesses needed this time. So, one thing that is coming to my mind is IT consultants. What are your thoughts about the role of IT consultants, given that most growing and emerging businesses lack CIOs?
IT consultants play a very important role, right? In different places, they are called by different names, from managed service providers to outsourcing providers to consultants to system integrators to, this whole fact that we need speciality, right? It's like we're going to a doctor in a hospital. We don't treat ourselves when we find something wrong with it. We diagnose, we assess it, and then we go to a specialist because we believe that the specialist has a better knowledge, better understanding of how to deal with our situation. Cybersecurity or cyber problems are all about understanding that are we in the right hands? Are we taking specialized help? Right? And there again, it all is a function of the kind of risks that we are getting exposed, the kind of resources we have in house, and the kind of budgets that we are willing to provision. If you take the help of IT consultant, it's not that all problems have one solution. Each unique problem in cyber or digital risk has its own unique way of addressing it, and taking the help of IT consultants or specialists in this area is strongly recommended for SMEs, MSMEs, and growing enterprises, because then they would know that they're in the safe hands. And I would rather go ahead and say that take due diligence, work with people who are there to support you when you need it and flexible to your needs, right? I think that's what differentiates growing businesses, because growing businesses also work with their clients in a similar manner. They're able to grow from SME to MSME to larger enterprises because they're able to delight their customers constantly.
Thank you, Sandeep, for this enlightening discussion. So, with that, we conclude this topic, and the key takeaways are that cybersecurity is critical for small businesses as they grow. And a few cyber aware MSMEs' good habits are: keep an eye out for cybercrime and cyber risk, determine which assets you are attempting to safeguard, and last but not the least, understand the vulnerabilities and patch your system with appropriate solutions. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.